What's up? What's up? Welcome back to Talking to Myself. So, I want to go to a deeper layer of being able to let go. And what allows you to do that is understanding that other people's pain has nothing to do with you. And there's the understanding of that. But the way I see of how we absorb information, how we obtain it, is understanding, knowing, and then embodiment. So we can understand and know the concept that, yeah, what people are going through has nothing to do with me. But then when we feel the pain of somebody that we care about, we start to feel the pain for them. We start to have empathy for them. And that could get tricky because now you're taking on somebody's pain, somebody else's pain that has nothing to do with you. And you're actually intruding on the purpose of that pain. So when it comes to other people's pain not having anything to do with you is getting yourself in touch and intimate with your pain. And every time you've experienced pain, there's always part of it, a portion of it, to where it feels isolating. It feels like you're the only one going through it. Nobody else, it feels like nobody else is fully getting the pain that you're going through. And the reason for it is because your pain has a very specific message for you only. That's why, like, no matter how much you try to explain it, yeah, people can have empathy for you, but they don't really fully get what you're navigating specifically. It's the same thing with everybody else. And this is where it's okay to take this, like, a step back. It's okay to go into the back seat because you're the main character of your movie. And as you're creating this movie called Life, it's seeing, okay, what does this have to do with me? How can I use this to my benefit, to my advantage? Not in the sense of using it against somebody, but the feedback of the experience. Let's say, somebody's going through some pain, you have an argument with somebody. It's good to see how can I show up better, things of that nature. And acknowledging that other people's pain has nothing to do with you doesn't mean you're not going to do that anymore. You just understand to what extent. Because let's say you're having an argument with somebody, but they can't communicate that they're hurt. And when people can't communicate their emotions, when they can't express how they're feeling, the next best thing that they could do is get you to feel how they're feeling. So let's say if we're having an argument, me and you, and you say something hurtful, or I take it hurtful. And because that's a very important part, and I'll go into that next. But I take what you did or what you said as being very hurtful. But I can't articulate that to you. I don't know how to say it, or maybe I just don't feel safe enough to say it. I feel like if I am vulnerable enough to express it, you're probably going to use it against me. And maybe I experienced that in the past with other people or as I was growing up. So the next best thing I could do is now lash out and say or do something equally as hurtful. And if you notice, anytime you've ever had an argument with somebody, and you may be calm and cool and knowing, like, okay, either this person's like overreacting, I don't know what's going on, or it has nothing to do with you until the person says something personal about you. So let's say I do that. I say something personal about you that that I know would really like dig in and pierce your heart. So after you hear that heart-piercing comment, now you lash out. And you're like, what the hell? What was that about? And once I see the reaction, I now start to calm down. And if you notice, when you have arguments with people, the initial part of it, when they say something hurtful and they see a response from you, there's a glimpse, there's a feeling of like they could relax. And it's not so much because they got to you. When we are experiencing the pain, there's the thought and the feeling of, okay, this person feels better because they got to me. It's not that at all. The pain is saying that. But what it is they feel understood. right? Because again, using myself as the example, I couldn't articulate to you what was bothering me and what was hurting me. So the next best thing I could do is get you to feel how I felt. So when I said something hurtful and I saw that it got to you, now what I'm feeling inside is, now you understand me. Now you get me. That's how I feel. Now we're on the same page. But what happens is now the cycle continues because now you're feeling hurt. And then now you get me to feel that added level of pain. And then we just kind of do this tennis match back and forth of who can outdo the other person's pain. But that's really all that's happening is when people can't express how they feel or articulate it, the next best thing they could do is get you to feel how they're feeling. Because they're just trying to communicate and just be understood. Right? One of the most painful things is to feel like nobody gets you, is to feel misunderstood. The reason why it's so painful is we equate being understood with being loved. And if you think about it, how would it feel for you to be understood? And the times that you felt understood, how has that felt? When you're like, oh, this person gets me. It's this feeling of being seen, being acknowledged, being heard, being felt to a degree that it's not really normal. It's almost like, oh my God, this is what I've been feeling. And with that feeling, you get to see, even in the pain, we're still seeking to be loved because we're wanting that understanding. And it's just to get you to just, hey, I'm hurting right now, right? It's to get you to see I'm hurting right now. And I don't know what other way to get that across other than to get you to feel how I'm feeling. And when it resonates that, it's like, that's how I'm feeling. I feel better because now I feel seen, I feel understood. And as you start to see that, then no matter what people do or say, right? Because even family members, they have the ability to cut so deep to the core. That's why like there's all the memes of, hey, you know, going back to the holidays, it's a stressful time and it's the most triggering time. And because family members know everything about you, they know the things that could cut deep, get to the core. And a lot of family members, quite honestly, just don't know how to get across how they feel. And what they do is they get you to feel how they feel. So it's just this whole triggering experience. But once you get to see that really that's all that's happening, they're communicating with you to the best of their ability. It could be better, but that's just what they have available. So are you really going to hold it against them? It's like a kid that's throwing a tantrum. He's crying, he's screaming. The kid has nothing against you. It's just expressing how they're feeling. They might throw a toy in your direction. It's not at you. Even if a kid screams, I hate you, they don't even know the extent of what that means. They just know it's a hurtful thing to say. It's going to hurt you. Now you understand me. That's how I'm feeling. It's really all that's happening. We're all just big ass kids. If you think about how you feel inside from when you were a little kid to now, that awareness still feels the same age. It doesn't really grow up, right? It expands into more, right? You do get more knowledge. You become more aware of things. But as far as how you feel inside, you feel the same awareness, same age, so to speak. So as you start to see it that way, now when you come into contact with family and I will say like friends, but just people in general, right? People in general. When you come across people in general and they do those things, not to say that it's okay, right? But in the moment when it happens, you don't have to take it on now because you could see beyond the game. You could see beyond what's taking place. It's like, oh, okay. Even though they said something personal, even though they said my name, even though they said something that I shared with them in confidence, it has nothing to do with me because they're just in pain. So another example another analogy, right, is saving somebody that's drowning. So one time I went to save my cousin. She's taller than me. I was gonna say a little taller than me. She's taller than me. And there was a part of the pool that dipped to like, it went from like 4 or 5 feet and it just dipped to like 9 feet by the ladder. But it was a big ass area. And she just starts drowning because she can't really swim. So I can't swim. So I went to swim up and save her. But she's splashing like hectically. And she's just trying to stay alive. And as I'm going to save her, she's pushing my head underwater and everything. But again, she's just trying to stay alive. She's not pushing my head underwater specifically. She's just looking for something to keep her head above water. Again, has nothing to do with me. Prime example as to what's taking place when we're experiencing emotional pain. So when somebody says something hurtful, it's just them splashing. Again, it has nothing to do with you, right? She didn't even know it was me going to save her. She didn't even know what was going on. What she felt was the extent of, oh my God, I'm dying. I want to stay alive. What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? And she pushed my head underwater. It's not like she said and saw, oh, Mike, F that guy. Like, forget my cousin. I'm just going to drown him. It's me over him. No. She's so caught up in the turbulence of her life experience in that moment. She's just doing the best with what she had, and what she had available was, let me like get myself up. So it's the same thing. When we're experiencing emotional pain, it's turbulent. That pain is still real. Although it's not a physical pain, it feels just as bad, if not worse. Because at least physical pain you can get away from. Emotional pain, it's there and you're like, what the hell? Like, I'm stressed out, I'm anxious, I'm freaking out, I'm depressed, I'm sad, whatever the emotions are. And that's the equivalent of feeling like you're like dying. Like that's what it feels like. So when somebody's responding in such a dramatic way, it has nothing to do with you. Again, not to say that you condone it, not to say that it's okay, but when you're in it, it allows you to not get lost and pulled into that as well. Because that's the most important thing, is to make sure you stay connected to you and you don't get lost in that turbulence, that storm that's taking place, because that's nothing to do with you. You don't need to go into that. Because who's going to help who? If you go into the pain, now you just join the pain, now both of you in pain, for what reason? So it's the same thing as to if I go to help my cousin and she's pushing me under the water, but now I take it personal and I try to push her under the water. If we're both drowning, who's helping who, right? So the best thing to do that I learned from that experience is why the lifeguards have the floaties. Instead of me going up to save you and risking drowning myself, I can just throw the floaty at you. But it's up to you to grab onto that floaty, and then you can start bringing yourself towards the ladder, towards safety, right? Recalibrating yourself. Same exact thing with the emotional pain. When you don't get pulled into that storm, when you don't react to it, you're leaving it for the person to soothe themselves. It's not your job. It never was. So when you take on that role of trying to be so empathetic and trying to save people from their pain, there's a few things to look at. One is you're getting in the way of the clarity that that pain was trying to give that person. If you think about all the times that you've experienced pain, it helped you get very clear on what you want to do, how you want to do it, all the things, right? And it's not really so much new information either. It's something that you've already known that you wanted to do, but the pain helped you make and take decisive action, make a true decision of, you know what? That's why people, when they go through breakups, I'm going to focus on me. You always knew that you wanted to, but because of the pain, now you made the decision to do it. So it's the same exact thing. You don't know what the pain is helping them get clarity on. So every time like you're swooping in to save the day or try to cushion the blow or save them from drowning of their emotional pain, you're getting in the way of them learning how to swim. And also, in going in to save them, you're focusing on their limitations. You're focusing on their weakness. Because what you're saying is, I don't think you could do this yourself. I don't think you could soothe yourself. I don't think you could ever learn how to swim. Yeah, they might be going through it in the moment, but the same way you were able to figure it out, so can they. Why not? And as you get to see, you stepping back, look at all the animals, right, within the animal kingdom. The mothers, like the birds and everything, they'll let their young fly out. But you could do it. You might fall, but you'll be all right. The amount of trust that they have for their younglings is they know that they have the ability to strive and survive. So in not swooping in to save the day, it's like, okay, yeah, it's turbulent. Yeah, it hurts. I know. I navigated the pain. I know how intense it could be. But the same way I made it to the other side, I know you can too. And in the process of it, they might be cursing you out. They might be like, what the hell? Are you leaving me to do this by myself? Da-da-da. I know. I was there too. I was cursing out God and the universe. I was cursing out everybody and their mother. And then I was cursing myself out. But then I got to learn how to recalibrate, how to feel the pain rather than ignore it or avoid it, or put it onto other people to save me from it. And as you start to see people in that light, see their potential, not only see their potential, but see their ability to fulfill their own potential. People can feel that. People can feel as to when you look at them, as whether you're looking at them from a space of, nah, you can't do that. Nah, you're not strong enough. No, let me do this for you. Versus, you got this. You're powerful beyond measure. There's nothing you could do. And it could be a little scary at first because they're like, oh, I don't know. It's all good. You're good. Trust me, you're good. It's intense, I know, but it's good. It's good. You got this. And it's like almost encouraging and empowering of like, all right, let's do this. Like even the people that go cliff jumping, right? That's the image that just came to my mind. There's times like it happened to me when I was younger where I would get there and I'm like, I don't know. And like my pops jumps first. He's like, all right, come on. And I'm like, it's scary. I'm high up. I don't know if I want to do it. And the people around me are like, all right, go. And then it gets to a certain point where it's like, all right, you're just holding up the line now. We get you're scared, but we're kind of over it. Are you going to jump or are you not going to jump? And then you just go. It's intense, but you do it. And sometimes the pain it gets heightened to a degree that it gets to that point of you're holding up the line, right? Not so much with other people, but that you can't ignore it anymore. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? And you feel it. And as you're feeling it, your relationship to the pain starts to change because it's not this thing that was going to kill you. It feels like it in the moment. It feels like as you're experiencing the pain, oh my God, like this is going to be it. But as you navigate the pain, you're like, oh, it's just a storm. And just as with all storms, it passes. And yeah, it may feel intense, but you're good. And for me, I like to use the rocket analogy of like, the most intense part of the rocket ship is breaking through the atmosphere. And it feels like the ship is going to crash and burn. But it's once you get to the other side, you're like, oh, it's you're floating. It's effortless. It's peace. It's bliss. And once you know there's another side to pain, that's all you need to know. And now when you see pain, it's like, I'd rather not. For sure, I'd rather not. but there's another side to it. And going through it, I get to change how I go through it. Because again, if you throw somebody that's never been in a rocket ship or never even thought about going to space in the rocket ship, they'll be like, oh my God, what's going on? We're gonna fucking die. But that's why they have the astronauts, because the astronauts have gone through the simulations of it. And it's like having gone through your own pain. As you go through the pain, time again, when it arises, you go through it again. You have an idea as to what to expect. Not fully, right? Because it's not like the same exact moment. It's not like you're rewinding a movie. It's a whole brand new experience. You don't know what could happen, but you know what to expect as far as it's, I don't know what's going to happen, but it's going to be intense. And my mind might go a little crazy. I might have these wild thoughts. And I might beat up on myself, and I might feel doubt and fear and worry. And I might be anxious. And I might feel like this is the end of the world. But I know how to balance it out and bring myself back. And I know how to regulate myself and calm down and remind myself that there's another side to it. I know how to navigate the unknown now when it comes to pain. And with you not fearing it anymore, and you start to see the beauty and the love of pain and the purpose of it, now you don't feel the need to save people from their pain. Because the pain that you were trying to save other people from is the pain that you were avoiding to look at within yourself or feel within yourself. But when you don't feel the need to do that, now you welcome the pain. You welcome it for yourself, and you welcome it for others. And you start to love pain. That's where I'm at. I'm at the place where I love pain because I understand its purpose. Not that I seek it, but I understand its purpose. So as you start to see pain in this way, you get to see everybody has their own unique pains, and it's to give them clarity on specific messages that they've been asking for, whether that be through thoughts and wishes or prayers or manifestations, whatever ways you like to word the conversations with themselves and with life. It comes through pain because it gets you to get very clear on the thing that you already know you've been wanting, but now you can no longer deny it. I wanted to go into being the catalyst of pain for other people because you have to be okay with that too. But there was a lot within this episode. There was a lot of layers within this episode. So I want to let you sit with this. I'm definitely going to do another video about being okay with being the catalyst of someone's pain. Like being, I don't want to say the cause of it, but being the one that points out the pain within other people. Because we all do that for each other. But being okay with it. Because you don't have to be the main character all the time. Maybe at times that's just your role. So that's going to be a whole nother deep dive. But this was a beautiful, powerful episode. And I feel if I go into the other topic, it's going to be like an overload of information. I feel like this is a beautiful sweet spot. So be sure to like, comment, subscribe, share all the YouTube stuff, you know what I mean? I like to share the stuff with as many people as possible because I feel some beautiful, powerful messages. And it's cool to just have people become part of the pack. I decided to refer to you guys as the pack now. It's what I did when I was fighting. I like to see people that support what I do as supporters, but I found that even more dope way to do it is like a wolf pack. And because a wolf pack, like, they're tight. Like they stay together. They like communicate with each other. Like the howling, no matter how far you are, they howl, can find each other. I like the whole concept of the pack is so dope to me. So I want to bring that name of the pack from my fighting world, which is when I brought everybody to watch me fight, to now this. So welcome to the pack. So I'm wishing you an amazing day. If it's nighttime by you, I'm wishing you an amazing night. And I will catch you later.